first. Oh, pick Central. Smitty, Clemmer. Chicago boys are in Chicago right now. Rico, Marty, and Big Ev doing the conference tournament streams. Shout out to them last night. Very, very funny, very entertaining.
The Rocket Man stuff?
Well, the Rocket Man was extraordinarily barbaric.
But like, you can't blame them. Like, who? Like, go to 1,000? Like, to have like?
Yeah, you go to 100. If you were to 100 times your bet right now, are you not taking that?
Of course. I mean,
of course.
There's so many times. So I love watching them, and there's so many times like you got to stop before 100. Like, what are you doing 100? So I wouldn't have the balls to go to 1,000. That's crazy.
Crazy. But
Marty's face when it goes.
An all time, very funny clip from the Rocket. Clips from the Rocket Man.
Awesome.
Coin boys to Rocket Man.
Those guys are in those suits with those helmets on. They're singing. It's great. Yeah, I love it.
It's very entertaining. Go to the DraftKings sportsbook and casino to play Rocket Man if you're on there. And also shout out to the Chicago stream last night. That was also very funny. Max getting riled up.
Freaking out. Rico poking the bear.
That was so fucking funny.
It's tough. It's tough for Max when you're a Villanova fan for some reason, and not for some reason. He grew up around Villanova, but he
and went there.
He went there?
He went there. I thought he went to Hofstra.
He played baseball at Hofstra, then finished up at Villanova.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, all right, Max. Okay.
He put the student and student athlete.
Yeah, he did.
He got some skin in the game.
Yeah, he did.
And then also we got to give a shout out to Tommy Smokes and Vibs for.
For Court Storming.
Yeah.
Fun in the storm. But we'll start out with Nova. We're not the biggest college basketball guys here, but when you're a 26.5-point favorite against a DePaul team that has 3 wins all year, you probably shouldn't make it a 1-point win.
What is DePaul? DePaul was 3-25. Did I say that right?
Their coach got fired halfway through the year. I think like 2 games into the conference. It was just, and also Rico. Shout out Rico when he called the stream. And he was just like, what? Like, why is Max giving me a hard time? He's like, DePaul's a great program. They've won like 4 of the last 5 years of the Big East, right? And like, just like clearly just poking the bear.
Oh, yeah.
And
He knows how to do it.
And it's just, like, I like to see Rico like that. You know, being able to be like, he could take Max's shit and then being able to still dish it.
And he knows he's going there today, so he can face Max face to face. So I love all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
I feel bad for what is it, the DePaul fan, Blue Demon Degen, the guy. I hope you look good in orange. That Goodman sent.
Yeah, I don't know. Remember when we talked about that saga, the documentary?
I feel bad for that guy.
The guy who made the Providence documentary was a DePaul fan. That's what he's trying to say.
Interesting. But good for Nova. Watch them win the entire tournament now, and we'll see what happens to him. We'll see what happens. I kind of feel bad for Kyle Neptune. He took over, not an impossible situation with Nova after Jay Wright left 2 years ago, but it's an obvious downgrade. But he would have been gone. He had to go if they lost yesterday. It's a shame. But maybe they can turn around and do something in the tournament. Lots of day action today with the conference tournaments. As we said, go to the Chicago stream. They're streaming. I want to do picks right away.
Sure.
Get them out. I got all day action, baby. FSU, UNC over 154.5. Xavier, UConn under 149.5. Also Xavier plus 15. And Dukes, I know we talked about this before. It always seems like once March comes around, Xavier is always there.
Yeah, they're
a Sweet 16 bandit.
I hate them. They won't be in the tournament, but they're a team. They have a good coach. They'll keep this one close. Yeah. They're a good defensive team, so they'll.
Obviously, UConn's the cream of the crop.
Right, but Xavier can make this a game. When you have nothing to lose in this tournament style, and you only have you just take it one game at a time. I like Xavier too as well. And my toxic trade also we're talking about Nova. I like Nova today.
Oh, Doogsy.
Yeah, I think they're a great defensive team. I think Marquette has their best player, their point guard, out. I think that they'll make more shots than they did last night. I think, you see that Madison Square Garden rim one more night than the other team. I like Nova. That's my toxic trade. I like Nova plus 3.5.
Okay. Clemmer, what you got?
I have Dukes and I, we are Celtics. I have the Celtics -6 tonight. They're playing the Suns. It's at home. Celtics playing really well right now. They played the Suns in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and they won by 10 in Phoenix. So I like their chances tonight. And I got it right yesterday, so we'll see. Hopefully get 2 in a row here. So Celtics -6.
All right. Go C's from a longtime Celtics fan, Chris Clemmer.
Yes. I went to games when ML Carr was the coach. Yes, I know you hate this, but I am a longtime Celtics.
I only hate it is because I didn't know you were a Celtics fan. I knew you were from New Hampshire. I knew you were from the North. I knew you were a Mets fan.
Yeah.
And the only time I heard from you was during Game 7 when the Sixers were getting blown out by 30 points. That's the only time I heard
You had a negative thing about the Celtics. I didn't like it. I chirped back.
All right. Well, I mean, we can have a trip off right now because your quarterback, future vice president of the United States of America, Aaron Rodgers. How do you feel about this entire situation that's going down right now for the New York Football Jets and America?
This is not much of a chirp off because I am just despondent and in shock and in denial. I don't think this is going to happen. So, or either that or I'm telling myself that. I don't think this is going to happen. Having said that, though, I wrote a blog about it. This isn't a football story. This is a Mad Lib. This is the most bizarre.
This is an American story, too. This is absurd.
This is the strangest thing I can think of in a while. I don't know. And so you hear that they're interested in. They have some scouts looking at quarterbacks in the draft now. They do have the 10 pick. So you're starting to hear that. So I'm hearing. You read that the Jets are pissed off at Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. I saw one thing saying he wants to maybe do both, which is not possible.
Wait.
I don't know what's happening.
I
have to imagine.
Is he crazy?
I mean,
is that the point to where we need to ask Dave to shoot him a text and ask him if he's crazy? Because that's crazy to think that you can do both. Campaign for the vice presidency of the United States and be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
So what's he gonna debate Kamala Harris on
on ayahuasca? What's he gonna debate her?
in September? No, on a Tuesday, and then he's gonna go suit up on an NFL game on a Sunday. It doesn't make any sense. It's just insane. The whole thing's stupid. I don't think Kennedy's gonna do this. I think Kennedy's throwing out some big names to try to kind of boost a campaign that's kind of stalled right now. He's at about 12% in the polls. That's the other thing too is Aaron Rodgers is looking at joining a campaign that most likely isn't gonna win.
Well, what if the Trumpster one-ups Kennedy and offers it to Aaron Rodgers and we come full-blown idiocracy?
I don't know. I'm at a point in my life right now where I do my best to kind of avoid politics because I'm so beaten down.
Politics aside, let's keep it to sports. Are you worried that your franchise quarterback who's getting paid $38 million this year, coming off a torn Achilles, is having these sort of distractions?
Of course. We a week ago he was saying he wanted to play 4 more years. Now maybe he means he wants to be vice president for 4 years. I don't know, but that's what he said. He said he wanted to play for 4 more years. And now this. So I think, honestly, we know one thing about Aaron Rodgers, all seriousness, is that Aaron Rodgers loves one thing, and that's attention. Remember the Jeopardy host thing? I think he likes to do these. He has these dalliances in the offseason where he kind of puts his foot in these random ponds and these random oceans, but at the end of the day, he's always going to come back and play football. That's what I'm telling myself. But I'm also a Jets fan that has been beaten down by 44 years of
That's true. And I am very ambivalent to Aaron Rodgers. He has not, other than beating the Eagles in 2010 on his way to a championship, he has not really interacted with my life personally in a positive or negative way. So I can look at this from an observer. But as an astute Jeopardy fan, he was the worst guest host they've ever had. He was so monotone.
Yeah, he was pretty dry.
He was so monotone and dry that it was just you're watching him fall asleep up there. I mean, he was eloquent. He was literate.
Yeah.
Good for you. But you want to put that person up there given potential State of the Union addresses?
That's a good point. Right, yeah. How's he going to... I don't know. So, I can't believe we're talking about the quarterback, not just the quarterback. I wrote this in a blog yesterday. Not just the quarterback, the savior of my franchise, and we're talking about him, making campaign stops. What are we doing? I can't. Honestly, my small brain can't handle it. I am apoplectic.
Who would you say, Herschel Walker aside, is the greatest example of somebody who forayed from sports into politics?
Well, this happened before. Jack Kemp was Bob Dole's running mate. Jack Kemp, obviously.
I have a better example.
Way before my time, but he ran for vice president as a quarterback.
Jim Bunning.
Yeah, Jim Bunning served in Congress for many years, right?
Perfect game thrower.
Yes. Oh, I'm a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. As well as I guess you wouldn't put him as an athlete, more as a coach, but Tom Osborne.
Yep. Yeah, he had a short stint. Yeah. But I mean, Jack
short
Kemp.
stint. He was governor for 2 terms, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I meant compared to Bunning was there for like 20 years.
Oh, Bunny was there forever.
But no, Jack Kemp. I mean, Jack Kemp was there forever too. I mean, Jack Kemp literally ran as a vice president on ticket. Was a former quarterback. So I mean, there are examples. Having said though, Jack Kemp was in politics for 20 years before he joined.
Yeah, he was not a starting quarterback.
He didn't just finish an offseason. So this is
all right. Well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Just what I want to talk about the Jets.
It's 11:11 now. Make a wish. But we're gonna stop at 11:25 because the unnamed show, the best show in the history of shows, is coming up.
I got a text from a friend of the program saying, Clement, you do know that all this Aaron Rodgers shit is bullshit.
I hope so.
Yes.
I hope. You mean Aaron Rodgers joining Kennedy's campaign?
Yes.
I hope so. But the fact that it's even...
Well, why is it not denied then? Has he come out and denied it?
He's in a resort right now, right? So he's not really talking to the press right now.
Hey, what kind of resort?
No, it seems like it seems like he's vacationing right now, so he's not addressing anything.
Mentally or physically?
But I will say it's interesting, Robert Kennedy is not denying these. But maybe you don't want to... I don't know. The whole thing... But the fact that we're even talking about it, the fact that it's even a discussion is just insane. But I agree with you, Dukes. I think it is bullshit.
It's bullshit. I think it's like this is also coming from Mangold saying it's bullshit.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But I will say, if Mangold's listening right now, I'll also say this: it is like Rodgers being like, I don't want a distraction, and I don't even know if he pushed this distraction or not. The fact that the Jets or Jets fans or talk show hosts in New York have to like talk about this distraction is objectively hilarious. It's one of the fun. I think this is. I was thinking about this last night, laying up, and I was like, I think this is one of the funniest storylines that I've heard in my 25 years of life.
Oh, it's incredible. It's idiocracy.
It's absolute. It's totally bizarre. So you hate my team, I hate your team. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would feel the same way you are. I would think this is hysterical.
It's not even a Jets. It's not even a Jets or like hate thing. It's any team has a story like your star quarterback going. You getting finally like like probably top 3 quarterback of all time, him tearing his Achilles in the first play, and then getting distracted by a fucking independent political like president's candidacy or whatever. It's objectively hilarious.
Those were indeed words put
together.
that
was Scrabble. that was verbal Scrabble.
I applaud the effort.
That was awesome.
Because I was like, trying to think, I was like, how do you even fucking
presidential candidates?
Well, yeah, but I was like, he's an independent, so I was like, independent president.
And we won't like. I kind of want to bring up the conspiracy you talked about who leaked what.
So who leaked it? You wonder. Oh, yeah, we can float it out. Look,
this is complete conjecture now.
Yes,
complete conjecture.
Complete conjecture. So you see the. I don't want to delve too deep in it because it's a sensitive subject.
Very sensitive.
Sandy Hook conspiracy, which, in my opinion, I'll come out and say it. If you think Sandy Hook is a conspiracy, you're an idiot, and you need to really do some deep diving in who you are intellectually. So Aaron Rodgers.
I will agree with you on that.
Aaron Rodgers. There's reports that Aaron Rodgers did say that. So you wonder who leaked this. Was it another campaign, or was it the Jets who are angry with Aaron Rodgers, or was it a situation where you have some of the reports came from CNN, some of the reports came from the New York Times. Is that a thing where they had this story in their back pocket and waiting for something political to happen, and they didn't want to do it when he's an athlete, but they'll do it when he's running, when he's a potential political figure? I don't know, but my spidey sense was like, could this possibly, even a 1% chance, have come from my New York Football Jets? I don't know.
I actually heard another rumor. One more guess. Who do you think it came from?
I have no idea.
I'm hearing reports that it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, revenge.
Revenge.
By the way, I didn't hear that, but I just made that up.
Wow.
I actually could see that happening.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things, but yeah, you wonder
if it's complete. If Mangold's right, like that this is complete bullshit. Aaron has no idea like any of this shit. I could totally see Jimmy Kimmel like hearing rumblings of this and being like, leak it. Like,
we're
fuck this guy up.
Talk about 24/7 news cycle. I completely forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers just fake exposing Jimmy Kimmel for being on the Epstein.
The only thing is the timing.
And see, that's another thing.
Like,
that's one more thing about Rodgers. Like him being like, I don't like the distractions, but then him like,
then he'll do that.
Then he'll like call out the #1 talk show host for being on the Epstein logs, going to McAfee every day, and then being like with RFK.
I can't defend that. Yeah, I can't defend the distraction. I'm at a loss. I obviously, I hope very much that the Sandy Hook stuff is not true with Rodgers, and then I just hope very much that we have get back to normal football talk. Normal football. Aaron Rodgers be on the Jets, and I can.
Well, that ain't happening. You know that.
What's one thing that could happen with the Rodgers era? Like, does he win a playoff game and all this is gone? What makes the Rodgers era successful?
It's more than a playoff game. So one thing, the Jets
to make the playoffs, win a playoff
The Jets
game?
aren't the Lions. You remember this. So in my life, I believe there's been 5 times they made the AFC Championship, and they're 0 for 5 in those times. So the Jets, as much don't get me wrong, the Jets the last dozen years have been a disaster.
When did they make it before Sanchez?
Sanchez twice,
98.
Testaverde.
Okay.
And then 2 times in the 80s, I believe. I could have had that wrong. It's 4 or 5. Either one. I will say both the ones in the 80s I don't remember. So it's really been 3 in my, sentient lifetime. So the Jets are not this. The Jets are not the Lions. Not this completely failed franchise. They're just this bad. Although the last dozen years have been horrible. I think Aaron Rodgers. For honestly, at this point, I need the team to make a Super Bowl. I need the Jets to be in a Super Bowl before I die. I'm 44. I have 36 more years left, and or whatever. And I need average life is 80. I need that. What you hit 40?
You drink 8 Diet Cokes eight regular Cokes a day.
You know I'm gonna make 80? I'm gonna make 110 or 56.
That's true. I'll give you that.
No, but I need to at least have my team in a Super Bowl before I die. And it's now I'm on the back end of it, and it's like fuck. No, I think about this a lot.
Clemmer, what's your birthday?
November 23rd,
What year?
1979.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you smoke?
I'm not gonna do this whole thing. I do not smoke.
You're right. Your anatomy is built that you're either going to live forever or die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like there's not really.
I can still live.
If you had blood, it'd be syrup by now.
54 and 29 and 21. I'll have that beat. I'll beat 75.
2054.
I'll make it past 75.
Good God.
You got 262,800 hours to live.
That's all right.
Great. So
I always think I have 80 years, right? So you got 36 more. I got 36 more football seasons.
2054. Will the Mets still be paying Bobby Bonilla by then?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a whole other thing. Let's talk about the Dylan Cease thing before we have to go here.
Yeah. Big
trade in baseball last night. Dylan Cease traded from the White Sox to the Padres. Huge move for the Padres. Padres really haven't done anything this offseason to help their team. Their team this year, obviously Blake Snell's a free agent.
Oh, they traded Juan Soto.
But the interesting thing about the Soto deal, they got 3 major league pieces back: Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, and the key one is Michael King. Michael King is a legitimate starter. So now you have Michael King, you have Joe Musgrove, and you have Yu Darvish, and now you have Dylan Cease. That's a formidable staff.
Yeah. And you also had the Cy Young winner last year, and you didn't even make the playoffs with that formidable staff.
They also were incredibly unlucky. If you look at any sort of analytics when it comes to how that one-run games or extra innings, you can make a case that 2023 Padres are the most unlucky team in baseball history. So I have to think some of that's going to even out a little bit.
You can make the case that they are the most talented team to ever make the playoffs too.
You could. You absolutely could.
So I mean, something's got to even out there.
And here's the
they were that bad they turned it on towards the end of the year.
Right. Well, Snell was unhittable.
Yeah, but they were that bad, and not even bad,
boring.
Yeah, exactly. I said this 4 years ago in this program. The Padres in San Diego specifically, it's a place to go escape, and it's where players go to meh.
Yeah.
It's like you go there, nobody cares. The weather's beautiful. Hey, you win? Awesome. Hey, this one's in, that one's in. Fan base get behind you. But you lose, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you can make this. Yeah, I mean, I don't put too much stock into that too much. I'll say this right now. I think the Padres have the inside track of making the playoffs next year. I think they're going to get that 3rd wild card spot.
They're talented enough where they should.
Maybe. They did lose a lot of pieces. Losing Soto and Snell is huge. They just got seized.
Okay, losing Soto and Snell is huge, but you still have Machado. You still have
Bogarts.
the
Tatis.
Bogarts, Tatis. You still have the rotation.
Yep.
Yes, you lost Hader, but the bullpen's still formidable.
I don't know that yet. We'll see. I'm not, but you might be right. We'll see. But the other thing about the National League though, it's so top heavy. So the wild card is either going to be the Braves, Philly loser, probably the Phillies. The Diamondbacks, who are even better than they were last year. Eduardo Rodriguez, that team I think is looking really strong.
Somebody like the Reds.
So then before the
But the Reds would whoever wins the Central
the Reds-
probably would have a lesser record than the third wild card team.
I don't know. So before
But
before the Cease deal, I would have agreed. I would have said I don't know because you figure it's the Cubs Reds loser, right? But now I think the Padres getting Cease has them, in my opinion, above the Cubs Red loser.
But I'm saying there's only one playoff team coming out of the Central because you could probably win 85 games and win the Central.
Right. But before the Cease deal, I don't know if I would have said the Padres are going to win 85 games.
That's fair.
And now I'm more convinced. You know who I thought might have been the third wild card spot about a month ago? I was saying my Mets. But with the Senga injury and the fact that they still won't make a move for JD Martinez, the fact that we still have Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos, I'm despondent about the Mets. This has been a rough 21 minutes here. Got my Mets, my Jets. I wrote a blog yesterday. I'm like, this is I don't believe in curses. I'm starting to maybe think.
Well, yeah, curses exist.
I don't believe in curses. I'm just gonna keep saying that because I'm starting to.
Can you just repeat verbatim your Jose Quintana tweet? Opening day starter.
Jose Quintana is a fine pitcher. If Jose Quintana is your opening day starter, not because of injury, because he's the best option you have, 80 wins becomes your goal.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty fair.
That's a wildly fair assessment, especially for a franchise that has gone from Wheeler was injured and banged up, but to go from DeGrom and
Scherzer and Verlander,
Scherzer and even put Syndergaard and Harvey in the situation of Jose Quintana.
Before that, you had Johan.
Yeah.
Now we have Jose Quintana. It's not good. Laugh all you want. You seem to forget. You seem to forget how shabby your Phillies were. You're riding high right now.
What do you mean? I seem to. I know. I was writing Ben Revere noodle arm blogs in 2013. You don't need to tell me.
You should be a little nicer to me.
No. You want to know why I'm not? Because 2 years ago, you had fucking people like Meek Phil and KFC and Clem winning the division in May and trying to shit on everybody and then come up short. You deserve nothing solely from that. And you know it, too. You know it. You got too big for your britches too early, and you deserve nothing. Yeah, Ben Revere, Jeremy Hellickson. I was blogging about fucking Marlon Byrd and Jeff Francoeur. Don't tell me. Ryan Sandberg leaving the team mid-season. Ryan Sandberg, hope you're okay with your cancer diagnosis, but fuck you, Ryan Sandberg, for just giving up on the Phillies mid-season. Never seen anything like that.
That was Bobby Petrino-esque.
Never seen anything like that.
I'm good here.
For a guy who's just been itching for a managerial position, just fucking hot tailing and leaving in middle of the season. I regress, son. I regress.
I just wanted you to get mad.
Good luck.
I just wanted you to get mad about the Phillies. That's all.
I mean, you bring up Ben Revere before.
You brought up Ben Revere. You did.
At one time, you hit a home run, though. It was great.
It was a cool moment. It was a cool home run, bro.
All right, we got 2 minutes.
Yeah,
you got a little teaser for us for the Unnamed Show?
I guess I'm just gonna go in there, be honest, try to be fair, and just speak my mind. I mean, it sounds like Dave. Dave's gonna speak his mind. I tweeted at him Tuesday. I'm sure that will come up. I'm sure the idea of leadership or what I expect leadership to be, or what I would hope leadership to be might come up.
Aaron Rodgers, President of the United States.
Aaron Rodgers probably not going to come up with this there, but you never know.
Oh, that's what you would consider leadership.
That's not what I consider leadership.
Yeah, Clemmer, that death thing that I put up that it said you had 264,800 hours to live.
Yeah.
Could just be a single hour.
Oh, I think I'll be alive. I might not. I will see. We'll see if I'm. I might be going home early. But either way, I'll be alive. And either way, I'm gonna be very happy.
Yeah, I think that if he eviscerates you, I think that you are built to handle it.
I love working here so much, but at the end of the day, I'm the luckiest guy, and the fact that I'm even here at all is bizarre and weird. And everything will be just fine.
Everything's going to be peachy. All right, that's Pick Central. Tomorrow will be the boys in Chicago during the conference games as well. So Clemmer and I will see you on Monday, and stay tuned for the Unnamed Show. I'm sure it's going to be